Leroy Green with News 19 Nerds. We're back telling you about the comics we think will be hot this week. Now, today we're at Pump Monkey Comics on Divine Street. Hey, check it out. So, last week I missed a couple of books, so let me start off. One, let's do Renato Jones, number one. Political season, comics have actually been tackling with Citizen Jack. There's a Vote for Loki book coming out later on this month, or later on this year. And this is about Renato Jones, the 1%. Think about if Occupy Wall Street, Batman, and the Punisher were one thing and they started taking on the 1%. Pretty interesting book. There's a lot of cool ads in here for Renato Jones, a lot of great art. Check it out. All right, last week I missed 4001 AD. This is Valiant's summer blockbuster. This kicked off last week. If you came out to Free Comic Book Day, there was a raid number one for 4001 AD. Also, this week it spills over in Exo-Manor War. So this is Valiant's big book. I actually like a lot of the Valiant titles, so this is something you might want to check out. All right, let's get to this week's book. This is a producer's pick. Michael loves this. It's Turtles, Batman. You got Splinter, Ra's al Ghul. I think he told me Robin is in this. This is the last issue. It's probably going to be collected in a trade. Check it out. Batman, Ninja Turtles. I mean, this is basically what comics is all about. All right, now, Rebirth happens later on this month, but before, this is the last issue of Scott Snyder's run on Batman, Batman 52. If you picked up the last issue, 51, was the last issue between Scott Snyder and Greg Apollo. So this is number 52. Check this out. I can't tell you much about Rebirth. We're going to get to Dan a little bit later, so he can explain a little bit more about that. All right, let's get to this week's books. Number one on my list is The Fix. Nick Spencer, Steve Lieber, number two. Now, I told you a couple of weeks ago, number one came out. Number one sold out, but they released the second printing of number one. This is it. So issue number two came out, so you can pick up both of them. This is a great book. Please check this out. Not all ages, though. Not all ages. I want to say that again. This ain't for kids. All right, Avengers. If you guys have been following Ant-Man, the movie, all new Wolverine, thanks to Michael, you saw the Wasp. This is an all-new, different Wasp. This is not Janet Van Dyne. So check out Avengers number 9 to find out who this Wasp is. All right. Now, how many of you guys saw Civil War? I'll wait. How long am I waiting?
You can go.
Okay. All right. So anybody who saw Civil War knew that Black Panther and Spider-Man stole the show. Even though it was a Captain America movie, Iron Man, Tony Stark going at it with Steve Rogers, Captain America, the two characters everybody seems to be talking about is Black Panther and Spider-Man. Now, first issue, Ta-Nehisi Coates did Black Panther number one, sold out that week. They did another printing of number one. So a second printing number one is out. Check your comic book stores. Issue number 2 came out this week. So this storyline is would an advanced country like Wakanda tolerate having a king would they tolerate having a monarchy? You're the most technologically advanced society on the planet. Why do you still have an archaic government? That's what this book is about. Also, check out on Marvel's Twitter page or our Twitter page at News19. Hold on. Is it at News19? At News19 Nerds. We're going to retweet the video that Ta-Nehisi Coates talks about the history and the origin of Black Panther. Now, Spider-Man. If you've been watching if you saw the movie, you realize that Spider-Man was only on screen for 10 minutes, and that's probably the best Spider-Man we've ever seen on film. Now, if you like that Spider-Man, in the comics, Peter Parker has grown up. He runs a company. He's not a kid anymore. But if you're looking for that youthful exuberance, if you're looking for something like Peter Parker was back in the day when he was having all of those travesties and tragedies happen in his life, here's 2 books you want to check out. The Trade for Spider-Gwen came out. This is a great book. Instead of Peter Parker getting bitten by the spider, his best friend, one of the best friends, Gwen Stacy, gets bitten by a spider, and this is her story. All right, that's one. If you're looking for Spider-Man back in high school, having to hide his identity from his parents, doing schoolwork, balancing friends, and being a superhero, you've got to check out Miles Morales' Spider-Man. They're on the 3rd issue now. Brian Bendis has been writing this. There's only 3 issues out right now, but there's a library of content you can go check out that Bendis has been writing. There's at least 3 or 4 volumes of this stuff. So, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy. That's what Michael told me to say. All right. Also, Free Comic Book Day was last week, but your comic book stores have a lot of free comics still left. Civil War 2 kicks off. Here's one of them. Suicide Squad #1, picking that up. But also check out Raising a Reader for some of you parents, educators. Maybe you got a little brother, little sister, or maybe you're trying to get into comics yourself. This is a great explainer. This is provided by the Comic Book League Defense Fund. This will help you understand word balloons, how the story is created, what is a graphic novel, what is a comic, what is a trade paperback. This will break it down for you. All right, remember when I talked about DC's Rebirth? This is a placard. It has a checklist on the back. Go to your local comic book store. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little confusing, so I'm going to toss this over to Dan. Dan, explain DC's Rebirth for us.
Pretty much all the DC comics are ending this month with 52 issues, thus with new 52, ending with 52 is how they figured that out. And it's going to be called Rebirth, the new reboot. They've changed it to Rebirth so they can't say reboot again, as they've done a million times. But it's going to start with DC Universe Rebirth. Now I'm messing up. Rebirth Special. And that's going to explain, give you a good synopsis of all the different books it's going to encompass. And in the weeks after that, you'll have each title will have the name of the title and Rebirth. Then after that, it'll start with issue 1 of that title. For example, there'll be a Batman Rebirth, which will explain the direction they're going. And then after that, there'll be a Batman #1. And then they're also doing it twice a month throughout the summer, at least as far as I know for right now. But that about sums it up on Rebirth.
All right, so you got the gist on Rebirth. Check out your comic book store. They still have some free comics left. Follow us on our hashtag @News19Nerds. Hold on, that's not our hashtag, that's our handle. Our handle is @News19Nerds. Our hashtag is News19 is simple.